Welcome to Statsig Warehouse Native How-to series. In this chapter, we are going to walk through how to set up Statsig, connect to a warehouse, and start calculating all within 15 minutes. Let's do a quick concept walkthrough to understand how experimentation and warehouse connections work. Abstractly, to calculate the treatment effect of any experiments, we need three pieces of information: unit ID, experiment group, and metrics. We can break down this information to assignments and metrics. Assignments can come from Statsig SDK, a third-party feature flag vendor, or your internal assignments logging. Metrics usually come from your analytical pipelines or real-time events and metrics streams. Our stats engine lives within your warehouse. We manage the join between assignments and metrics, perform the experiment calculation, and only send the summary data out of your warehouse to power our console. You'll have easy access to the queries used to generate the results, as well as the data artifacts with the intermediate and final results. In the following videos, let's talk about how to set up metrics and assignments. The first step is to set up the connection to your warehouse. During your onboarding, we'll show a step-by-step guide to help you set up everything. You can click the link here, or go to Settings, Data Connection to connect your warehouse. We'll use BigQuery as an example. We need read access to datasets used for experiments, such as assignments and metrics. You give us access to only the tables or views you want us to operate on. We also need write access to create a sandbox, where we catch intermediate data for experiments that run over many days. After we do all the calculations, we only extract and visualize the experiment summary data out of your warehouse. You will have total control of your data and full visibility into what we do. We want to add the Statsig role to your IAM. Let's go to your BigQuery setting, go to IAM, grant access, and copy and paste Statsig's user ID into this. Remember, we need write role for the sandbox to persist calculation results. You'll create the dataset and project ID, then grant Statsig account write access only to this dataset. We need two pieces of information: metrics and assignments. Let's connect metrics first. In your warehouse, you should have a table with user-level events or metrics, and we expect at least two columns: unit ID and timestamp. Of course, you'll need additional columns for some kind of metrics. Let's use the log events to demonstrate the UI. We also give you the optional way to include the metadata so you can define the columns in a free form as well. We use our UI to read the data and specify timestamps and unit ID. We'll treat other columns in your table as is and only select the columns and date range we need to calculate our results. You have the option to perform aggregations, filters, and breakdown in the metrics catalog, which we'll cover in Chapter 2, Metrics Deep Dive. Let's set up assignments here. Assignment source tells us which user belongs to which experiment group. To get to assignment sources, we go to the console, and you can connect your exposure data. We use the language exposure and assignments interchangeably here. Or you can go to experiments and assignment sources and just create new assignment source. I'll use the existing one as an example. In your data warehouse, you should have a table that tells how users are assigned to each experiment group, and we expect 4 columns from that data. The first one is unit ID, which is the ID you run your experiment on. This may be a user, a server pod, or a physical device ID. Timestamp, experiment ID, which specifies which experiment this is referring to, and group ID, which specifies is this test or control variant or different variations of the test. Once you have the table or query, just press Run Query to get a sample from the table, and then you can use our UI to tell us the timestamp, the experiment ID, the group ID, and multiple ways of defining unit ID. After that, just save it as a new assignment source, and of course, you can configure as many assignment sources as you need. Congratulations! Now you have set up the assignments and metrics. You should be able to analyze an existing experiment or set up an AA testing within 15 minutes.